Hi guys, it's Shamina here from Slap. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. It's been a while since I've been in the Charlotte Tilbury game. This is Charlotte's first foundation in I think about 3 years. It's been a very long time, and this is supposed to merge skincare and science and give you your best skin ever. So I'm excited to see if that is the case. I'm going to be doing a 2-day wear test. I'm also going to be showing you in 2 different shades. This foundation is out now, so I will leave a link down below if you do want to buy it, if it is good. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, please subscribe. We'd love to have you in the Slap family. And without further ado, guys, here is the video. Charlotte Tilbury on her website has a foundation matching product, kind of like a bit of a slap. So I used that and I got a match of 14 neutral. I got the 14 neutral, and then Jourdan Dunn put up a picture of her behind the scenes on the campaign, and she said that she was 10 neutral. And then I thought, oh god, I've definitely gone too rich. There was a 13 warm, which looked a bit light, but I thought I would get 13 warm as well. So I'm going to show you guys both of them on. As you can tell, I'm completely barefaced. My dark circles are shining through. And yeah, I'm excited to try this. The first thing I've tried from Charlotte Tilbury in a very long time, as you guys know. I took a bit of a break from the brand after she released her full face in a palette thing, which just wasn't very inclusive and didn't really care to be, and it kind of just didn't really sit right with me, and I wasn't very happy about it, considering she'd done so much to become inclusive with her airbrush bronzers, extending her powder ranges, and then it was like she was taking a step back. You guys know what my thoughts and feelings about that were, but it seems that she has changed her ways. She recently made Jourdan Dunn one of her faces, also Phoebe Dynevor, one of the Bridgerton leading ladies. As you guys know, I love Bridgerton. So yeah, so I'm excited about this. This is her first complexion launch she's launched in a really, really long time. She did launch her airbrush flawless finish foundation I think about 3 years ago. I did actually really like that, but it was very, very full coverage, and it's not something I reach for at all really. So I felt like this would be a nice one. It seems a lot more skincare infused. It seems a lot more lightweight. Just gonna get into it. I've got 2 shades, as I said. I've got 14 neutral and I've got 13 warm. I'm gonna be doing a wear test. Today I am wearing it with the Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer. It does give me a bit more hydration in these areas than I need, because I'm quite combination. So this may not be the best match. Depending on how it wears, I might try it on again tomorrow with the Dior primer, which is a bit more mattifying. So we'll see how it goes. So this is Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation. It comes in 30 shades, and I got the shade 13 warm. After me, there is 14 cool, 14 neutral, 15 neutral, 16 cool, 17 cool, and 17 neutral. The last warm shade available is 13 warm, which is why I thought 14 neutral would be my best shade. If I remember correctly, in the Airbrush Flawless Finish foundation, I was 14 warm. So it's kind of strange that she didn't bring out a 14 warm for this foundation, but I'm sure the 14 neutral will be neutral enough. It says it's a medium coverage hydrating foundation to combine instant glow and buildable coverage with long-term skincare benefits. 30 mils and 1 fluid ounce, £34, 44 US dollars. This is the packaging here, super cute, very skincare-esque. As you can see, the Charlotte Tilbury 13 Warm is the lightest thing I have, but it isn't too far away from the Dior, the Lisa Eldridge and the Pat McGrath. The 14 Neutral, there's nothing really like it. It's a very true neutral, really brings out and shows off the reds in everything else, like the Charlotte Tilbury, Flawless Filter, the Giorgio Armani, the Laura Mercier. The foundation is very light reflecting. It does have a really nice sheen to it. It's got a really nice kind of gloss to it, which I think is perfect. It does feel a bit thicker than I thought it would feel. I do really like the packaging. I think it's really nice. It's nice to have a squeezy tube, but then a flat bottom so you can actually have it standing upright in your collection. It's cool, it's very Charlotte Tilbury. Got a bit of gold, bit of glossy glam. The Charlotte Tilbury match, I said both of these were my match. On Monday it said 14 Neutral was my match, and today it said 13 Warm. I do think 13 Warm is going to be the best one for me. I'm just hoping it doesn't look too bright in comparison to the rest of my body. First up, I'm going to try them on my face. I'm going to do a bit of 13 Warm first. I do like the packaging, it's very easy to use. I have to say with the pump, quite a bit does come out. So this is 13 Warm. Actually, it looks pretty good. It looks quite light, but it does blend out to be okay. And this is 14 Neutral. It's a really nice shade, it's just a bit rich. I'm just wondering if it's too rich for summer. Oh, that does look good actually. I'm gonna put 14 here so we can see. So this is 14 Neutral. Not bad actually. It looks a lot better on my face. Oh, it's a bit rich. No, it's not. This is 13 Warm. Also just looks a bit light. Doesn't look as drastic on this side, but I think that's just because they're placed where your skin gets darker. So like your skin generally gets darker around the edges, or you want it to be dark around the edges. So it kind of makes more sense for the dark one to be here. It doesn't look as weird, and the lighter one to be in the middle. But when I do it like this, and if that's all over my face, that looks quite rich. And then this looks a bit too light at the back here. Tricky. We put on half and half, and then we can just see what they genuinely look like on each side of my face, fully on. It's looking like it's going to be 13W, but 14 Neutral doesn't look weird in some places. So on this side I'm going to use 13W, on this side I'm going to use 14 Neutral. Okay, it doesn't look too bad on its own. I think that half a pump wasn't enough. So I'm just going to do a full pump. That's a full pump. When I look at it like this, I feel like this is definitely my shade. There isn't much difference between my skin tone and this, and I think that's good. I'm happy with this to be my skin tone shade. It does have a nice glow to it. It does look hydrated. My skin does look supple. It's not completely a full coverage, which it does say it is a medium coverage. You can still see quite a bit through. On this side I'm going to use 14 Neutral because why not? doesn't actually look that much richer. It does look richer, but it doesn't look too red. It's a bit more red, but it doesn't look too rosy. And I think if you're a little bit richer than me, it's a nice shade. It's got a really nice undertone to it. It's very true neutral. Even though it feels quite thick when you first watch it, it does have a nice sheerness to it once you blend it out. It does look really nice and natural and glowy, but not too glowy, which I like. Side by side, and they're on with a sponge, that you can't see the difference as much as you can when you swatch them. It doesn't look that drastic. When I swatched it, I was like, oh my god, there's such a big jump between the two. But actually in reality, it's really not that drastic, and I could potentially get away with both. I can lighten this up with a bit of concealer. So guys, that is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation on. I've put a tiny bit of bronzer on and a tiny bit of blusher. I tried not to go too crazy. I want to see what it looks like on its own. I do think it's nice. I do like both sides, and I don't think once you do your concealer and your bronzer, there's a huge difference between each side. I think this one probably looks a bit more flawless. It probably looks a bit more seamless and like my skin. Whereas this one's a bit richer, but it doesn't look like drastically rich like it did when I first swatched it. So I do think it is nice. I think it's cute. I'm going to be wearing it throughout the day as promised. So right now, I think I might do a 2-day wear test. It is now 2:24. So I'm going to be wearing this for the rest of the day, and I'll come back and do a check-in with you guys. So guys, I am back and I have done a little wear test. It's now 9:20 and I finished at 2:24, so it's been 7 hours. Well, in 4 minutes it will have been 7 hours. I do think this has been a really good wear test. I have worn a mask for most of the day. I have been out and about. I've also been at home. I've also rubbed my eyes a lot, which is why I've got glitter all over my face, as well as in my eye. There's not a huge amount left. Considering it is quite lightweight and glowy, I do feel like it's worn pretty well. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick close up, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, I am back. It is day 2. I've got the same dress on because I thought it would be good for little things I'm going to do in between. So anyway, I am back. It is day 2. It is the morning. As you can see, the sun is gleaming through the back window and it is a great time. So what I'm going to do, my face has been moisturized, but it does feel a bit dry. So I'm going to put on half of my face, I'm going to use the same Laura Mercier Hydrating Primer. And on the second half of my face, or the other half of my face, I'm going to use the Dior Backstage Primer in 001 Universal. Now, I do find this one a bit more of a slightly more mattifying primer, so I think it'll be good to see what both look like on. I did say I was just going to use this one today, but I do feel a bit dry, so I don't want to put all of my hopes of today on this primer, so I'm going to use both just in case. So on this side, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier, and on this side I'm going to use the Dior. And today I'm going to use the shade 13 Warm, 13W Warm. I'm going to start off with one pump on each side of the Charlotte Tilbury. So this is one full pump. It's got a bit of run to it, but not a huge amount of run to it. So that is one full pump with a sponge. I think it's given a really decent amount of coverage for one pump's worth. You can see it's going to reduce some of the redness, evened out my complexion, definitely covered up a lot of my dark circle as well. But there is still like a sheerness to it. You can still see through the foundation, but it definitely looks a lot better. So now I'm going to pop some on the side with the hydrating primer on. That is the 13 Warm foundation on side by side. Definitely can see that there is a huge difference depending on which primer you use. With this side, slightly more mattified side, it definitely has brought down the shine. It does still look very healthy and there is still a slight glow, but it is nowhere near as glowy as it is on this side. This side looks very radiant, much more bouncy, and it does seem to be working well with the hydrating primer. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to last as long on this side. I'm now going to build it up because I feel like it would be nice to see what it looks like with a bit more coverage. Yesterday I kind of went a bit light on the coverage, but I want to see how this builds up and how this really gets to proper medium coverage as well. I actually really like this foundation. I think it's got a really nice glow to it, really good coverage, and I think it looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some concealer on, and I'm going to use the 10 Idol from Lancome. I actually love this concealer. My only problem with it is it's exactly my skin tone. I just don't know how well it's going to work with this Charlotte Tilbury. I don't know if it's going to be brightening enough, but we will give it a go. But I do think the coverage of this is really nice. I mean, the glow is really pretty. So I'm going to now powder under my eyes. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury, which I never use. This is in number 3 dark. I think this is now called Tan. On the other side, I'm going to use my By Terry powder, Hyaluronic Hydra powder. This is day 2 application. I feel a lot more comfortable with it now. I feel like I know what I'm doing with it now, which is good. I actually really love the Charlotte Tilbury products, and I forgot how much I like them because I haven't used them for so long. I think it works really nicely with her products. It didn't work too badly with other products either. It works well with the By Terry powder. It works well with a little bit of the Victoria Beckham Cheeky Posh, although I was a bit conscious of trying not to disturb it too much just because it was so creamy, and this is quite a firm foundation, if that makes sense, but I do really like it. I'm going to be doing another wear test. So it is 11:11. It is the end of day 2 and it is 8:13 p.m. I feel like I've got a bit more coverage on than I did before, than I did yesterday. I definitely look like I have a bit more foundation on, which is great, and it has been 9 hours, much longer wear than yesterday. Yesterday I think I did 7, today is 9, which is a good full day's wear test. I also have been wearing a mask, I've been touching my face, I've been outside, I've been inside, I've done it all, I've seen it all, and I feel like I've definitely got more coverage than I did yesterday. I'm gonna give you guys a quick final close up and then I'm gonna finish up. I think this is definitely a winner. It is much cheaper than the Lisa Eldridge. They are very different foundations. The Lisa Eldridge self-sets, but it does still have that natural buildable finish. They start off at about the same coverage. They're both fairly sheer to start with, and then they do build up to a very good medium coverage. I don't know if this has a better medium coverage than the Lisa, maybe because it has a bit more of a glowy, natural, radiant finish to it. It looks a bit more covered, whereas I think the Lisa dries down so quickly that it looks a bit more blurred. So they're slightly different, well, actually they're very different foundations. Obviously the Lisa Eldridge is a bit more luxe, it's got the glass bottle, it's got a really unique shape, but that one is $60 US, £44. This is £34 and $44 US. So I do much prefer the price of this. Obviously the packaging is very different, but it does still look luxe and high-end because it's quite glamorous and glitzy. So I do like the packaging of this. I like this shade, I'm happy with this shade, 13 warm. If you are my skin tone, I would recommend getting this shade. 14 neutral is not bad at all. It swatches a lot darker than it actually looks on the skin, and I think if you are just a little bit richer than me, that would be a nice shade. Neutrals are a really good neutral. They're not very red, but I don't see why there weren't any warms at the end of the spectrum after this one. So apart from that, I do think it's good. I like it a lot, and I feel like I can really see the My Skin But Betterness of it all. So guys, that is it. That's my finished look. That is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I have to say, having tried this 2 days in a row, I actually really enjoy this foundation. I think it's really nice. It's given my skin a really nice luminosity. It has a pretty decent wear on it as well, and it can be really well built up from a very sheer light to medium coverage to a really decent, very comfortable for me medium coverage. So I think it's really, really nice. I'm really happy with it. I think the shade's pretty good. I wouldn't say no to a 14 warm. I wouldn't say no to some more warms at the deeper end of the spectrum. But I have to applaud the neutrals. They're very neutral. There's no redness to them, which is really nice, especially if you are going for just neutrals at the deeper end of the spectrum or just neutrals and cool. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it's really nice. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Will you be buying it? Will you be trying it? Let me know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, please subscribe. I'd love to have you in the Slap family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.